It is Alice versus 120. There can only be one winner.
There can be two. In theory, you know, if the stars align, if everything goes perfectly, things can happen. But there's obviously one very, very, very big favorite here. 120. The strongest undead in the world at the moment, probably, against Alice, the guy who has been playing pretty well recently, but barely squeezed into the tournament to begin with. He was far out of range from the normal qualifying points, but in the last chance qualifier, the wild card, he made it through very surprisingly with an impressive performance, but now he's going up against 120. Perhaps one glimmer of hope is that 120 showed some weakness in this matchup. He lost to Lowerbracket, who of course is a master in his own right. But there were some mistakes, just straight up mistakes in 120's play there. Even if he doesn't play his best, he should still be the favorite. But we'll see if that is so one-sided. We have the maps here. Echo Isles, Concealed, and Twisted will be our maps.
120 is a great player against Night Elf. That is absolutely for sure. 70% win rate, higher than X-Lord, way higher than WFZ. Pretty much only losing to Moon and Lawlight, which is no shame. That is the highest tier of Warcraft competition we have. Will he take this seriously is kind of a question. When he feels that he is the big favorite, he sometimes surprises us with, let's say, interesting strategies. But now that his tournament life is on the line, maybe he takes things more seriously. It has been a long time since he made it into the finals. Made it into semifinals, quarterfinals, yeah, but the grand final, summer of 2017, 3 years ago for the youngest player in this tournament. It is, by the way, the battle of the two youngest players. 120, 24 years of age, Alice, 25. So, will the mullet surprise us once again? In the wild card, he kicked out Fortitude and buried the hopes of the LP club captain right there. And he surprised in the Gold League before, in exactly this situation. Lowerbracket Semifinal, fighting for survival 5 years ago against TH, and the ultimate upset happened. Can he do it again? Can he shock the world once again? It's gonna be probably the toughest task of his life, but he has nothing to lose. So, Alice, show us some magic.
If he plays his best, maybe this is doable. And if his best meets 120's messing around, then maybe this can happen. You know, 120 in the qualifiers and in smaller tournaments, especially there, he is playing unusual strats and experimenting quite a bit, but it has even happened in WGL, in the group stages. There was an off-stream match back then, but I remember he was playing like Necropolis aggressively with like weird ghoul pushes and stuff. 120 has always been one for experimentation, one who likes to think outside the box and oftentimes confuse his opponent. We'll see if he does it here.
Indeed. We go into the match. Before we have a couple of supporters here. Thank you, Darth Carlito, Seb, Nebu, Babidi, Lowlife, and Werewolf King for your continued subs. Concealed Hill. Alice, what's gonna be your weapons? And 120, what will you show us? He builds an altar. That's good. He's not rushing tier 3.
Yeah, that was that crazy game. Those crazy games against Lawlight, which we were very confused by, but I think that was just like saving strategies for this tournament right here, WGL, the Big World Championship. And indeed, so far it's looking all standard. Now this is 120, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. This could still be a Lich first or something weird, but normally this should be DK, a few ghouls into a fast tier 2 and transition to Fiends, the so-called happy build, which the Russian undead came up with. And indeed, it is the DK against the Demon Hunter. Very standard here for our early game.
Okay. No shenanigans by 120, and that is nice. That is what we want to see. We want to see the best 120. Like, we've seen Foggy styling on WFZ yesterday. We want to see the same. By the way, our Instagram votes, once again, our fans were right for the first match. Lawlight there with an 82% of the votes. And here, it's the most one-sided vote we've had this tournament. 94% of our fans on Instagram vote for 120. And yeah, that is pretty accurate when it comes to the winning odds here.
Dude. Streamlabs.
Holy shit. Okay, usually we don't read donations during WGL because that's the World Championship. We want to keep it clear, but we got a $1,000 donation by who else than Knubbequakes.
That is absolutely crazy, man. Thank you so very much. Not just today, but for the many times you supported us. Thank you, man. That's just crazy.
Buff Tanks and Copters, please. Good morning to all bros in chat, and thanks Neo and Remo. You are the best. Well, Knubbe, you are a heavy competitor for being the best. That's for sure.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, how do you focus on this match now? My god.
So far, not too much has happened. The Demon Hunter here harassing early on, which is kind of the norm on this map. You creep your item first. It was double rings for both players here, and then the Demon walks across, starts burning a little bit. Slows 120 down slightly, but sooner or later is going to have to fall back. It's a lot about creeping here early on, about getting levels and items. Getting level 3 quickly, especially valuable for the Demon Hunter. I like the creep route here. He falls back, takes out the spider crabs in the middle, gets level 2, and is getting more archers, getting ready for more creeping.
Yeah. No pocket strats by Alice so far. No rushes, no AP pushes, no mass hunts. So far, standard. And we have seen this working really, really well with Foggy. Oh, okay, Demon Hunter getting surrounded there slightly. And Neutron said it as well, like Demon Hunter creeping, then harassing a bit, and then creeping again. Pretty much as you say, every single night of for a Sundead game. You align a lot there. That should be the goal, but so far, only level 2.3. He needs to creep a little more.
Yeah, on this map it's not that easy to rush level 3. The Demon Hunter's options for creeping without Ancient of War are very limited. It's like the green camps and then maybe the Merchant. I guess you can do the Merchant. Because the Ancient of War creep at the lab, you want to keep that for the second hero. He's in the middle. Great Acolyte Scout by 120.
Yes.
Always excels at scouting. And it's kind of a lot of wasted time for Alice. He can't really... Like, even if he's not scouted there, how is he supposed to creep this camp?
Is he close to tier 2 and goes Naga or something?
He's actually trying it. Okay. Let's see how this goes.
Despite the scout, 120 is going to the tavern. It is a Naga for him. But what is this? This is not working at all.
So he was trying to block with the archer and then use Shadowmeld to block him in, but the archer got ensnared.
Yeah.
So that didn't work. So this was essentially around a minute or so that the Demon Hunter just wasted doing nothing. Instead now it is 120 finding the Ogre Lord trap. And that's going to be the big item for the undead. Possibly a great one. About a 30% chance to find a trash item, but the rest are usually pretty good. Well, that one he already had.
Okay, it's still gold though, and it is the aura taken away from the Night Elf side. Alice with the Naga as well. So, creeping fast. No one wants to rush, no one wants to be aggressive. We're going to the late game, but maybe Alice is missing the timing now. That was, as you said, the big moment. He could have used it to level up to level 3, get the level 2 mana burn. And Alice also lost track of 120. He seems a little confused. He doesn't really know where 120 is. And this is the state of the game where you want to be real annoying, playing a little Blade Master-esque, and burn a lot and do some chip damage on the undead army.
Yeah. burn the heroes, burn the statues, delay the opponent, and creep the Naga en masse on your side of the map. But this early game, this creep route, this whole movement pattern doesn't seem to be working out that well so far. DK sells a lot of items. Man, he just got 450 gold from those items. 1-0 is going to be very rich here, reaching tier 3.
Indeed. We go Dryads, we go tier 3. Alice is nowhere near fighting shape. Not level 3. No additions. And so far, pretty smooth game for 1-0. He's opening up the expansion, so after a good fight, we can move an Acolyte there and get a second gold mine. But here is Alice being aggressive just on level 2. And man, that crowd control is pretty good with the Purge here. Nice sidestep, but forces the TP. First big moment for Alice.
Nice save there on the Archer as well with Shadow Melt. Oh, but now it turns daytime. Whoops. And the creeps take her out. Did get the claws +9, right? 1-0 did, so that's a very good item.
Yeah, in addition with the mantle, that's really, really good. And Fog Lightning is available as well, so I like that. Alice moving the Ancient of War up to the high ground. This high ground seems to be a big objective of his in the game. Maybe he wants to expand there early-ish.
But it's getting contested again, and well, if he got it, that would be level 3 on the Demon Hunter. He did get that last hit with the Fog Lightning. Gets the next one as well. Very close now to finally level up his Demon Hunter. But he's super hurt already. The ring is protecting him a little bit. But this Demon inventory isn't the craziest.
Still doesn't feel too good. Staff, I don't really know if that can help him too much either. It feels like, except the one fight in the bottom right, 1-0 knows exactly what's up and is in full control of this game so far. When will that change?
I don't even think that was a bad trade for 1-0. He's in the bottom right, he's getting the item. Yeah, the TP is forced, but it was also a lot of time that Alice was walking across the map and getting only a TP for it. Yeah. Lich is now out. Third hero orb unlocked. And this is where the undead starts to hit the stride.
Coil used aggressively on the Demon Hunter. And now it's time to burn. Lich is coming out as well. 1-0's timings are pretty good so far.
Oh, the High Priest spelled the redo. Oh, that's unlucky.
Unfortunate for sure. Who's gonna get the last hit? It is 1-0 controlling this. The position is really well, zoning out Alice, so he can't really do any damage. If he wants to engage, the bears are gonna be exposed, and I don't think they're master yet, or are barely. And 1-0's right clicks are really good, and he still has so much mana.
Yeah, but now he's got the orb. Master should be done now for Alice. And he's got the level 3 Demon Hunter at least. Starts burning the Lich. 1-0 patient with the mana. Not just blindly using it on the Demon Hunter, the Nova, as that perhaps wouldn't do too much. Next Reju coming in. Good healing, but also Destroyer dispels that healing. And the Demon now half HP only left. So far, no units have died. More Fiends, more A-bombs coming in the main. 1-0 getting strong reinforcements. Demon Hunter takes the Nova there to the face. And that is the TP forced. One Dryad died in this whole engagement. Only a single unit going down. But that is possibly the next red camp with the Fountain going to the Undead.
Yeah. And he's just becoming stronger and stronger. This late game hero combo is coming together, stealing the expansion away before going to the Fountain. Nice move, so Alice can't get it. Alice instead is moving to the bottom right Fountain to take that one out. But 1-0, of course, getting a lot more value on the left side of the map. So yesterday we talked about, 2 days ago we talked about 1-0's timings being off. So far, no flaws, right?
Yeah, didn't overextend, didn't read the game wrong, didn't overexpose his army. So far looking good. I'm kind of surprised he's pushing now into the Night Elf base, because 1-0 is so close to crazy strong level ups. Lich getting from 3 to 4, Naga from 2 to 3, Lich, DK from 3 to 4, Lich from 1 to 2. That's sick level ups. This is why this Undead late game is so strong. Every level up pretty much is a massive upgrade. And he's starting to get closer and closer to that. He now has Frost Armor. He now has Fog Lightning level 2. And he's very close to Aura level 2 also, which all is going to make this Undead army much stronger. And he's forcing back his opponent as well with his push into the main. Typical play now would be to be expanding across the map. That's what Happy would do. But 1-0, no, he's just sitting here at 50 supply. Quite rich as well, with more than 800 gold.
True that. He can just run away. There's no TP on Alice, so he has to walk all the way back. That's 3 damage. That's the Hunt's Hall gone. And that's the Moonwell gone. So Alice, yeah, he has like 500 gold himself, but he can't spend it because he can't go for upgrades. There's no Hunter's Hall. He can't go for units. There's a Moonwell missing. And 120 spends his more than 1,000 gold on items now, plays it safe, gets an invul, has a TP, and now falls back to the fountain to creep this one, getting higher and higher levels. Something is missing in Alice. Like, if you compare exactly this map to the match of Lawlight versus 120, it's a different world.
Yeah. The level 3 Demon Hunter timing to harass in the early wasn't there. The mid-game / late game level 3 timing for the Naga wasn't there to take a decent fight. These level up timings are absolutely crucial. And they haven't been working out so far.
Okay, maybe 120 gets a little overconfident in the late game with his heroes. Alice needs a mistake by 120, but it's not that hard to do. Good nuke, that's a Dryad gone, and that's 1 archer, 2 archers. But here's the X factor that we were waiting for. Zeppelin drop onto the Haunted Gold Mine, but the Demon Hunter steps out. Okay, not enough damage. Steps out the Zeppelin as well, so everything's safe. And he forced 120 back. But usually that's the moment when the Undead is kind of stuck in his base. As we see here, he has to unsummon the Ziggurat, where you want to soak up the map, where you want to make something with your time. But it's not possible because the map is empty.
Yeah. In fact, what's left is kind of on 120's map side, like on the bottom corner of the map. Bottom edge. It was a decent attempt by Alice. Sometimes Undeads, when they use their TP... Oh my god, he's still stuck with the Naga. He has to unsummon another one. Sometimes when you use your TP, the Undeads don't buy it back, and it's an easy bear drop killing the Haunted. But 120 played it safe, bought the TP again, and that didn't end up doing too much.
He's doing it again. Cool game plan now. Definitely keeps him busy. Demon Hunter will... can't really step onto it. Steph is on cooldown for 30 seconds.
Even getting another TP, not remaking the Ziggus yet, so 120 supply stuck for a long time. But he doesn't mind. I think he knows he's not going to be losing units for quite some time.
There's an expansion coming up. And 120 is on the other side of the map. I wonder if he's going for an expansion as well. By the way, the Naga right click is absolutely insane. It's plus 18.
Yep. Not keeping it on the Lich, but rather on the Naga is also kind of interesting. Happier, for example, is always the player who stacks the Lich like crazy, but I guess 120 has his own idea.
Ooh, Invis Demon Hunter. Trying to block or something? Not really possible. There's a Fiend. Oh, TP. Staff out before the webs. Oh, nuke is big! GG. Too much.
Alright then. That's the 1-0 lead for the favorite. 1-0 looking good. Alice's game didn't come together. Early, the timings weren't hit. Late game, he wasn't competitive. What we were kind of fearing, a clear outmatch, seems to be what we're getting.
Yeah, absolutely true. No surprises here. I think I like the beginning with the Demon Hunter level 2 and then harass, but he never found the level 3, and that made the mid game really, really hard. And that's all due to the mistake at the Ogre Lord, or the end snare at the Ogre Lord. Otherwise, the game would look a lot different, but it's a risk you take. It was cool that he tried it, but yeah, it didn't work. Then plan B with the Zeppelin drops, but 1-0 is cheese-proof as it seems. So, I guess that's it for game 1. Now comes Alice's map, and maybe he has some pocket strats prepared as well. But once again, in case you guys missed it during the game, Knubberquakes just graced us with $1,000, and now that you can see us, this is unbelievable. This is by far the highest donation we ever got in our 6.5 years of streaming. And Knubberquakes is like not only this one-time support, but also all the subs, all the other donations in the years prior. He enables us to create overlays like this, create environments like this, running some tournaments, doing this full-time, I guess. So, so much love to Knubberquakes.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't thank you enough, man. How much you've helped us. It's unbelievable.
Much love. So, are we gonna get 1-2-0 versus Sock with just 2-0, 2-0?
It looks very likely. Looking ahead to the second map, by the way, very rare to see. Alice chooses Twisted Meadows.
Yes.
If this was Lawlight, I would say, okay, I get it, Warden. But Alice?
He played Warden twice against Sock. So
Yeah, but that's against Human.
Yeah.
That's very, very different.
Shows that he seems to like her at least a little bit.
Yeah. If he doesn't play Warden, if he plays Standard, Demon, Naga, Bears, and so on, then his idea is to outplay 1-2-0 in a super late game, straight up game.
Yeah, that doesn't
And
seem to be
you
the
know,
greatest idea.
Dude, if that is his line of thinking, then I have to respect that, kind of. He's going up against the strongest player with the mindset then that he can go toe-to-toe. Maybe that's a bit, overestimating his own abilities, but that has to be your mindset. I think if you're a competitor, if you go into the match thinking, oh, I don't have a chance anyways, then it's over, dude. You have to think that you can win. You have to be convinced of it. Being a little cocky sometimes is a good thing. But even if he's playing well, man, 1-2-0 is a world-class player. And that map one was that more one-sided than WFZ versus Foggy? I'd say it would be similar.
I think it's hard to say. Foggy versus WFZ was definitely more flashy and it showed more dominance. But if, Alice had really no chance. He forced the TP a couple of times, so that made it look a little less one-sided. But I guess for none of us, there was a doubt that 1-0 takes it. So, hard to say. By the way, speaking of Twisted, against Lawlight, 1-0 vetoed this, so definitely respecting the Warden force.
Yep.
So he knows that it's a strong possibility on this map.
If it doesn't contain a Warden, though, this map can be very strong for Undead in the late game. And tough even for Night Elf in the early. A map made for creeping, a map made for strong inventory, strong triple hero. Something that Undead can make good use of. Night Elf? Not really. Night Elf is locked at 2 heroes almost all the time in this matchup. Really looking forward to what Alice has planned here. I think Warden is his best chance. But man, if your name is not Lawlight, she's so hard to make work.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Maybe he surprises us all. He did already in the wildcard qualifier. To be honest, it's quite a miracle that Alice is here in the Gold League. Not really showing his strength during the qualifiers. Not in the open, not in the closed qualifier. And then in the wildcard. He was just there. Maybe that was... maybe he's a one-hit wonder. Or he shows us a reason why he's here. On Twisted, in the bottom right, we have the Necromancer. We got 1-2-0. And in the upper left, it is the ultimate underdog, Alice.
All right, looking at what we can see here so far, it is the best that Alice could be hoping for. It's a spawn at the Merc camp, so he hits that 50-50. And it's the opponent cross. So he hits that 33%. So luck is with him here in the early game RNG as far as spawning positions go. And this does enable a Warden.
Yeah.
We've seen it from him against Human. Can he also play it against Undead?
Okay. We have seen this before, especially by Sonic. And sometimes Sonic played this, and then he got harassed. And then a couple of last hits go to the DK, and then the game is ultimately over. I wonder how fast 1-2-0 will scout this, and how hard he can punish this. Because it must be the game plan for Alice to go for that mercenary camp, and he does.
With the Demon Hunter, not with the Warden. 1-2-0 sending out double scout, old school, something we don't really see much anymore. Of course, only done on Twisted, as there's multiple starting positions. That's gonna cut into lumber here significantly. This tells us that 1-2-0 doesn't mind delaying his late game, delaying his tier 3, as long as he makes sure that his opponent doesn't get off to too strong of a start.
This is, of course, pretty much a warm-up, because up next to this series, we're going to see the two all-time greats clashing against each other. Moon versus Lin. The ultimate hype for a group stage match. It does not get any better. So even if this might be a little one-sided, this series here, the next one definitely should not be.
So here we have the harass now coming in. Is he gonna get the steal on the Shadow Priest? Yes, he is. Even more pressure against this creep camp. Last hit, really important. Who got it? It was the Demon Hunter with the big healing and the cloak. Good items, or at least one good item.
Ooh, mana burn against the Shadow Priest now, but it takes a lot of attention. And here is the Unholy Aura and the block. 120 salvages this well. This is, of course, expenses that you normally don't have as an undead buying the Shadow Priest, so even more delay of attack?
Yeah, it should be. It should be attack significantly delayed. In fact, it should be Alice teching faster. Even if he had to do Wisp Repair, it wasn't that much Wisp Repair. But his lumber isn't looking so good. It's looking very similar to 120, I guess, so tech speed should be comparable. And I think this early game for 120 is working out. He slows down the leveling of the Demon Hunter, which is so important in this matchup. The level 3 timing of this hero, the importance cannot be overstated.
Okay. Where do we go from here? What's Alice's next step? Not too much movement at the moment. He's just following the DK, and I don't know. Level 3 Demon Hunter or level 2 DK? Like, what's more important? I feel like Alice could be creeping a little more. But the question is where on Twisted, so it's always a little hard.
Yeah, he's waiting for more archers to come out. When he has like 3 archers plus a berserker, then he should be safe to do it. But 120 is hanging around the camp, wants to make that as difficult as possible. Would love to snipe some archers. A berserker, of course, would be the dream. And here come the ghouls, man. 120 playing this really aggressive DK aggro without experience, and then the ghoul follow-up. This is some old school stuff right here.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise, definitely due to nighttime. He sees the ghouls late, and it's really hard to move the archers out of the map now. 120, of course, known for great micro. Maybe not as much as Happy, but he blew our minds with his controls as well. So moving these archers out, if the ghoul gets in range, they just eat them.
And the Demon Hunter normally is trying to put on some pressure, send some ghouls back, but it's of course dangerous about getting surrounded. But with him having a staff, I think you should try to put some more DPS onto them. He's starting to do that now. So far, no archers going down. And it's just 120 preventing all creeping. And I think that favors him. As, again, the Demon Hunter needs these levels so badly.
Was it the cat?
I'm not sure.
I didn't see it either.
All surround now, perhaps. Tier 2 is about to be finished, by the way. And this is where the level 1 demon becomes a problem, because the Naga follow-up for 120 can be really strong. The best way you can fight against Naga as Night Elf is by having good levels on your Demon Hunter. That is not the case here. Is 120 going boots himself? Might be. Yeah, boots and dust. Wakes up the creeps. That's pretty nice. But it seems like all the ghouls will survive. And this must be a Naga second now for 120.
Yeah, absolutely. More pressure. It's interesting how much pressure Light was able to lay on 120, and now it's the other way around. Of course, maps decide a lot about that, but it also shows the strength of a player to be able to play this.
And here's the Naga now, fighting against her without Demon Hunter level 2, without a second hero. That's tough. Even the Shadow Priest here is helping out, providing a bit more healing, especially for the Naga, very valuable. Demon Hunter perhaps willing to use the big heal pot, taking a lot of damage here early on. Threatening a surround on the enemy Naga is 120. And the Naga with the boots, she's so fast, she can run away from that Demon Hunter.
Yep, pretty much easily. Mana burns arrive, okay. And speaking of fast, the Unholy Aura is helping 120 catching up to that Naga. There's no staff on her, there's no potion on her. So if 120 gets it, it's certainly a kill. Naga running for her life. Archers are coming in to help against a possible surround with some right clicks. Oh, she's maneuvering into a corner. Nice sidestep. Messi-esque. Oh, I forgot about her for a second. And you can't allow that against 1-0. The instant punishment.
Gives her the heal pot. That might be some more ghoul kills. And she actually gets out. That's the heal pot gone, of course. 1-0 might be overextending here, but his Naga is returning now as well. And that will finally be the kill. On the second hero of Alice, still a better exchange here for 1-0. One more ghoul will be going down. But that's okay. Ghoul's probably not the unit he wants late game anyways. Gets another surround there as well. He has the dust.
That was really sweet. 1-0 showing his ghoul skills. Pretty impressive. Showing off a little, for sure, but that's what you have to do with this ghoul build.
Oh, Wisp block? Maybe?
Alice has shown against Sock already that he's very good with the Wisp block when he blocked the footman that was harassing. Oh, coming from the other side. Can he reach the shop for a potion? Looks like it. Mana burn is not enough for the kill. Even saves the money for the potion.
And it's totally fine for 1-0 so far having this game so low creeping. He's gonna have the Lich soon, and then the Orb, and with that he can start creeping very, very quickly. So many camps that are still left on this map.
Okay. On Concealed Hill, we had the Zeppelin play as a curveball. What can he do on Twisted? This map, of course, historically a mass expansion map due to Moon. Is that an option? Maybe. It's not that easy to open up the gold mines when 1-0 is controlling you so well.
Yeah, and even if you do expand, counter expansion can always be a possibility. Especially when destroyers are finished. Creeping on this map is so fast, specifically at the red camp, starting gold mines, where they are dropped the biggest items in our competitive pool, with items like Staff of Silence or Ring +5.
Yeah, and power creeping for the undead is of course super scary as well. Not the highest levels yet, but especially once the Lich is out with an Overcorruption, this will accelerate a lot and you will out-creep the Night Elf pretty fast as well. So what's Alice's plan? Looks like he moves a Wisp over. Looks like he is expanding, but he doesn't have the resource at the moment.
And 1-0 now, getting ready for the late game. Fiends coming, destroyers, statues, triple hero. Still takes a little while. Moving towards the middle though. Is he trying to go for the merchant creep or actually be aggressive? Being aggressive would be very surprising, considering there's no Lich yet. Nah, he's going for the merchant creep. Big items there to be found. Flute for Alice, not too bad. 1-0 would love that item as well. Devotion Aura for him, also very good.
Yeah, very, very good. More sustain, makes microing a little easier as well. Okay, we do have bears. It's not the moon style, it's not mass dryads, and it is the red spot. So we're finally gonna have the level 3, the level 2 mana burn. And then it comes down to items a lot. Spell shield could help against the nuke. Silence could help against the spells, of course.
Planet of Mana.
Oh.
Not bad for the Naga. She's gonna have plenty of Fog Lightning. Can she get to level 5 again? We have seen her in this tournament multiple times being super strong once she does reach level 5. 1-0 is coming in for the creep jack. Not interested in creeping at the moment. He wants to fight.
Okay. Got the Lich, got the Orb, got the right clicks, and got the TP off of Alice.
Not even trying to take this fight. That undead army wasn't so strong. It was 1 statue, 2 fiends, 1 destroyer, and like a shadow priest.
Oh, 1-0 expanding at the former red spot? Sends it somewhere else. Man, these levels are gonna be so dangerous in just a minute.
Yeah, once again, just like on Concealed, 1-0 now in that position where he is close to 3 massive level ups. DK, Naga, and Lich, both, or all 3, leveling up one more time is going to be great improvements. Boots of Quel'Thalas, not the greatest drop, but it's a little more attack speed.
Double flute, unfortunate for Alice that they don't stack. We get Mountain Giants now. The transition is coming, so Alice needs a lot more time. And 1-0 is willing to give him that time with his own expansion. So with this investment, it's pretty clear that we won't have the big deciding fight very soon.
If Alice scouts this might not even looking too bad this game for him. Alice is mining now off of 2 bases. 1-0 will be continuing to creep in the bottom left of the map. If Alice can scout this expo, cancel it over and over, perhaps he can overwhelm with way superior numbers.
I would love him to see to get to high supply, and then the taunt. Oh, nice. Saved by Alice, very aware of this. And with that, he can continue to scout and make sure that there's an expansion. Yeah, taunt, not too hard to micro. Of course, you have to find a certain rhythm, but that should be fine. And that helps you so much against the focus fire of the Fiends especially.
Staff in from the Demon Hunter. This is exactly how you're supposed to play this. Cancel the expo. Buy time for your own. Ideally, now the Naga would be creeping as well. But that's a little too dangerous. The Naga creeping without her first hero around. And the Demon will get this cancel. And now the expansion is mining. Alright, this is not looking too bad for Alice. But it's also starting to be crazy strong heroes. Staff of Silence. Which, against Dryads, shouldn't be that good, but perhaps it can find some use.
Yeah, it is something that you don't have in your muscle memory as a Night Elf. When are you ever silenced? Very rarely. So this might not be in Alice's head, and then he might wonder, hey, why is my mana burn not working? Hey, I want this mana burn, but then there's enough mana for Coil Nova and your hero is gone. So this could confuse Alice, certainly. Or he just sells it for something.
Very weak damage items, by the way, so far for 1-0. He found no claws, no intelligence items, just bonus attack speed from the Quel'Thalas boots. Pretty underwhelming, honestly, considering how much he's been creeping. But he did get a lot of experience. 3-3-3 levels here. 4-4-3 is not far away for the Undead anymore.
And full mana as well. Okay, is it time to fight? Where are the Mountain Giants, by the way? Did we see the first? Okay, maybe 2 are coming from the base right now. Yep, that's exactly what's happening here. Demon Hunter taking a lot of damage. There is a staff, and he's in range. Not the same as happened to Lawliot on the first map of their series. And the Naga was just a little bit too far away, and the staff wasn't there.
Alice with a massive supply lead. This could be a decent fight for him to take. 1-0's army not too big yet, but 1-0 is not deterred. He will take this fight, despite being down so much in numbers. Oh no, actually, he shows restraint, will realize it's not a good fight for him. TP's out without losing any units.
Cool, and Alice with an Engine of War on the bottom right-hand side made sure that 1-0 is not expanding. So there might be a little blight, there might be a building, but who really cares if there's no Haunted Gold Mine? Alice, not really aware of how much is crept already. Moving to the left-hand red spot. There's nothing left. We almost out-crept Twisted Meadows.
Yeah. The mainland, at least. 1-0 could, in fact, now go to the island. There, it might be easier to expand. Finds more tankiness. This Naga now quite durable. And very close to double level 4s. 1 more camp required for 2 more level ups for 1-0.
Where to get that camp? Is it going red spot? On the islands? It's another expansion upper left, probably. Alice wants to mass expand.
And that's it. That's double level up. Finally, some claws for 1-0.
When Alice gave 1-0 the time to go for the 70 supply, 2 Abominations, Disease Cloud, a solution for Mountain Giants for sure. Can Alice distract so that his third base is coming up and he can just overwhelm with mass?
Yeah, third base, Shredder, mass upgrades, perhaps the best course of action here. Would love to know the upgrades. And the late game problem for Night Elf now becoming obvious. The dual hero runs out of slots super fast, has to kill off items. That never feels good. Whereas 1-0 still has some slots left over. And yeah, he didn't find the best items this game, but he found a lot of items. And those do still help.
True. Alice is slot starved, can't pick up anymore. 1-0 with triple hero, of course, a lot more in the inventory. Here we go. Is that the fight of Alice's life? He's going for the Lich pretty hard. Nuke, no coil available here. But the bears, they seem to be melting. They're not really protected by these mountain giants. As they are not in range of the fiends, the taunt doesn't really affect them.
A-bomb starting to fall, one going down, second one sent back, the DK taking a lot of damage, Frost Armor protecting him, now finally getting the spell. Death Knight might be forced into the TP, the next Fog Lightning could be dangerous! TP's out before falling, invul on the demon, he's safe, another staff saves that mountain giant bear also getting away. And that was a pretty even exchange.
I agree, this was pretty impressive by Alice, fighting head on. Killed 2 abomination, or 1 abomination, 2 abomination? Not true, but he definitely got rid of them, showing that his damage is okay. We get the first expansion by 1-0, but we get the 4th gold mine for Alice. And the 3rd one is finished.
Yeah, true. Not looking too bad, not looking too bad. Click on him. Yeah, 2-1 upgrades. Okay, finally we find out what the upgrades are. 2-1 on the MGs, 2-2 now. Just finished, and I imagine more upgrades are coming. This is a nice late game benefit for Night Elf. All the good units have the same upgrade type. Dryads, Bears, MGs, even Hippos. And more MGs are coming. Very hard to have the perfect balance between units for Night Elf in the late game. You need the right amount of MGs to have for tanking, you need the right amount of Dryads to have for slowing, and also Bears for some damage. But if it gets out of whack, that combo, it can very quickly fall apart. Whereas for Undead, it's much simpler. You have 2 statues, 1 or 2 destroyers, like 2 A-bombs, and the rest is fiends.
Yeah. On the other side, as an Undead, how do you deal with trees of life that spread like shrooms across Twisted Meadows? With pretty much all the other races, we see some kind of split pushes with Bear, Zeppelin, Raider, even Knight pushes towards expansions. Undead almost always moving around with like one big death ball.
Yeah. We're gonna have to keep that theory for later, as the next fight is starting to break out. The movement speed advantage now, of course, heavily on the Undead side, with the level 2 aura. Finds the Naga in the back exposed, force the invul very quickly. Disease Cloud is kicking in, everything is taking damage passively over time, but now we have the mass taunt from the frontline mountain giants. A-bomb surviving, DK kept way in the back, so he doesn't get burned. But there's still not too much mana left on this first hero of 1-2-0.
And again,
A-bomb starting to fall.
Exactly. The first one, the poison damage of the Dryads once again. The heal scroll saves this one. Roar applied once again. Demon Hunter in a little bit of trouble, but there is an invul potion. Could use it soon before the next nuke. And this is an empty DK for now. Bears are starting to fall. 62 supply against 76. Alice is barely losing anything. 1 abomination more about to drop. Level 4 Lich though.
Hell yeah, +4 intelligence. Reveal coming in, sees all these fiends, nicely done. Will that trigger the TP? No, it triggers the staff. The demon is out of this fight for now. MG's still trying to distract, but they're being mostly ignored, and the Dryad's now exposed. Oh man, these could be picked off so easily. They're all hurt already. The Demon Hunter is back with the staff, but the backline is exposed. The Dryads have to run, and a lot of them have already fallen.
Once the Super Lich and the Fiends were in the range of the Dryads, all falls apart, almost even supply. Focus fire on the Demon Hunter, but the TP out first, doesn't want to fight into Alice's base. So yes, lots of losses for Alice, but more time for his expo to come up. He's rich, he's really rich. Forgot to wisp there, okay, but 1-0 is on 2 bases now as well, but it's still 4 versus 2, so Alice can easily go for more items, can easily go for more army. Well, it's not that easy to do for 1-0.
The Haunted Goldmine was very damaged there.
Yeah.
Was that a zapper? Did he try to come in with 2 zappers, but only 1 connected?
Looked like it for sure.
Maybe. Demon and Naga are close to level 5 for Alice. That would be very good, having double level 5. But looking at 1-0 side, he's starting to get to 5-5 as well. And if he gets to 5-5-5, that's almost an unbeatable hero. Tri-hero combo.
Yeah, I agree. That's the objective for 1-2-0. Not trying to counter with expansions, not trying to kill one expansion after the next. Just get the high-level heroes, and then your heroes might be worth 20, 25 supply, 30 supply. They are so much more powerful.
Main expired now for 1-2-0. That's a bit of a problem. Suddenly he's down to only one mining base, and with that, recovering losses will be much harder. Yep. We have heavy upgrades this game. 3-0 on the Fiends, 2-2 still on the Bears, but 3-3 is queued. This is key late game for Night Elf against Undead, powering up these units. Otherwise, they just die to the heroes too quickly.
Great scout by Alice as well. Of course, it's super easy to just send a wisp to that tree. That's pretty much one click. But to think of that is a good presence of mind, making sure that there's no second expansion. Split Mountain Giants now, distracting in the middle, and MGs with siege sticks trying to break 1-2-0's only source of income.
Damn, that's really cool. That's a smart move. He's got a TP as well to get out if he needs to. Tons of damage with the siege sticks. And suddenly 1-2-0 is in a really tough position.
Indeed, no income as we say. And now, yeah, 1-2-0, have fun putting out all these fires. Twisted Meadows is pretty much burning. He might get 1 or 2 Trees of Life, but all 3 plus the Tree of Eternity with this army seems unlikely.
Yeah, I think 1-2-0 started securing expansions for himself too late. If he had gone to the island early, if he had maybe secured both bottom left gold mines, this would be looking better. But now he's paying the price for his low econ, low base game. Has to TP back, and man, TPs for 1-2-0 now are basically unaffordable.
Yeah, you really don't want to TP. You really don't want to spend that 350 gold for another one. He has no staff either, so he can't really react. It seems like Alice is outmaneuvering 1-2-0 here. If he doesn't make any big mistakes and loses the entire army to, I don't know what, heroes probably, this should be his game to take.
1-2-0 is in a good position on the map now, though. He can go bottom left, snipe that base, and then he can go one higher and snipe that base. And suddenly, Alice would be down to 0 mining bases as well. However, Alice is 2k gold. He can plant down a lot more trees if he wants to.
Yeah, one after the next. If one goes down, whatever, just go to the other side of the base. Play cat and mouse with the undead.
Yeah, the game is becoming a little complicated now for 1-2-0, but normally that's no problem for him. We're getting very close to level 5s. We are very likely going to see level 5 on at least 4 heroes this game.
Oh yeah. We have seen quite a few ultimates this tournament already. Wouldn't mind to see a tornado here and there.
That's one A-bomb taken out. That's a big deal. That's level 5. And a big tank missing. Double level 5. Man, how important was that kill?
Yeah. Pretty sweet. Fork Lightning level 3 is going to be so good against Fiends and A-bombs. If there will be another big fight, which I kind of doubt at this point. Why should Alice commit to a fight, really?
Well, he's going in now. He's got a decently sized army here. The mana burns are good. 1-2-0 is running quite dry in the mana department.
2k gold. We need magnificent micro of 1-2-0. The best. He kills the second Expo. In the upper right, all of a sudden Alice is down from 4 bases to 1. Is he actually doing it, this madman?
Very good rejuice coming in over and over. The taunt making it hard for 1-2-0 to focus. The DK already hurt, and the next A-bomb will be going down. That is Disease Cloud taken out forever for the rest of this game.
Oh, that helps
and
the
moving
Giants.
forward, finding more kills with a double level 5s. Alice might be making the upset happen.
Oh man, would be so great for the young player to take at least one map of one of the top favorites here. We see a big Fork Lightning. The DK is in a world of trouble. He doesn't even have Death Pact. It's only Aura, so the statues have to work overtime, but the Lich is in trouble. The Fiends get buried again, but taken out one after the next. Alice dominating this fight. It's GG. And we do have an upset and a full series. What a moment for Alice.
Damn. Nice game by Alice. 1-2-0, perhaps underestimating his opponent here. If the game on Twisted goes super late and the Night Elf has tons of expansions, the Undead needs to make sure he can keep up in bases. And 1-2-0 neglected that a little bit. And Alice played that out well, made him pay for that big strategical mistake.
Yeah, I was a little worried, Remo, that we get 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0 today. But the Night of Talent Alice showing us why he's in that tournament. And very excellent strategic choices on top of good blocks. Definitely showing some good skills here.
Yeah. Good game by him. But what carried him that game super hard was economy and base snipes, basically. And that can only normally happen on Twisted. The last map we have left is Echo Isles. There's not going to be mass expansions. There's not going to be tons of movement over the map. Crucial placement of your army. It's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be very execution-based. It's going to be very micro-based in the next game.
This could be pretty much twisted the other way around. 1-0 loves to play DK Wolf expansion on Echo Isles, and this is getting oftentimes countered by the greatest snipers, by, for example, Moon with Huntress AP. So it could be this time 1-0 expanding Alice's task to put it out. I'm really curious if 1-0 is still thinking that this is a great idea, or if he continues to play standard.
I'm not saying I would expect him to play standard, but I would suggest to him to play standard. Yeah, he likes playing fast expo, but that is always best against keeper first strats, because the Demon Hunter level 1 harass is much stronger than the keeper level 1 harass. And it's very likely going to be Demon Hunter level 1. And if this fast expo strat on Echo Isles is played against very well by Alice, if he has the perfect counter, the perfect wisps, the perfect pushes, the perfect armies against that, I think that's the easiest way to lose Echo Isles. I think if 1-0 plays just solid, patient, standard, one base, normal, he's very, very favored to win Echo. Playing his fast expansion style puts him at a risk.
Okay. Then, okay, got surprised. I thought we're loading in, but now we go back to the casters. Remo, once again, I'm super disappointed that you're not wearing one of these wonderful dresses that Kutyang is wearing.
Maybe tomorrow. Maybe for the playoffs. Maybe I'm saving them all for the playoffs.
Yeah. You know? Damn, man. It's disappointing me 3 days in a row.
You know, it's not that... I mean, that dress looks lighter and cooler than a shirt, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
It's getting warmer here in Mainz, dude. Sunday is going to be a complete nightmare. Maybe I should, like, wear a little dress with, like, these little, you know, shoulder free.
Yeah. People would love that.
I think you convinced me.
Do you have some good shoulders to show off? Are you proud of your shoulders?
Bro, got the best shoulders, bro.
Extra shoulder practice.
Getting that beef on.
I mean, you have the Friday off, right? So you can get some shoulder training in. Remo's getting even more pretty for you. Thank you very much for the continuous sub. Thank you, Hex. Thank you, Manatee Dom. Thank you, Captain Zaukerl. Thank you, FK. Thank you, Mook. And thank you, Kenny. Much love to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. A bit of a reality check here for 1-2-0. It's not like he can play brainlessly and just move across the map and creep and his micro is going to carry him. No, Alice is a respectable player if he has a smart idea and pulls it through well and just strategically outplays you. You can lose, especially on Twisted. What is the danger on Echo? I think this should be the mindset for 1-2-0 this game. What is the danger on Echo Isles? How can he surprisingly win? And how can I prevent that?
The cat, some good luck as well, watching over 1-2-0. For Alice, he has been in 2 GCSs. He has never been eliminated in the first round. One time he eliminated TH. Is time a flat circle? Will this repeat? Will Alice cause another upset in 2020 after eliminating Fortitude in the wild card? The underdog, 1 map away from the lower bracket final versus Sog, but the task is gonna be very, very, very hard here on Echo Isles. It is Alice versus 1-2-0, deciding map 3.
Interesting build here. We see from the 2, it is a ghoul build for 1-2-0, so that means it could absolutely be a fast expansion. And for Alice, we have an Ancient of War creep towards the Merc camp. Normally with that, you don't want to be aggressive early. You just want to creep. And then the fast expo for 1-0 could work out well. It's going to be interesting decisions here by the two, how they react depending on what they scout. And of course what the first hero is, though I'm certainly expecting a demon. Whoa!
Wardino.
Warden.
Sick.
Man, okay. And 1-0 is scouting, by the way, so he's not expanding. Scouting with the ghoul, which is a bit of a risk in terms of it can just be a normal build and the ghoul can't do anything, so you're just losing lumber for nothing. But if the ghoul scouts the Ancient of War creep and can harass it right away, this is the best thing that can happen for you. So 1-0 kind of gambling with his opening, but he's hitting the nuts.
Oh boy. I got a feeling, man. It's a special WGL upset feeling. But yeah, he finds it here. Shadow Priest goes to Alice. That's nice. What's the DK movement going to be?
Yeah, it was very important for Alice to cut Wisp production for a little bit to get this Shadow Priest! He's slowed though! Oh my god, don't tell me you lose him right away. Oh lordy.
Do you want to get the last hit? Don't think so.
No, but losing that Shadow Priest is a big deal. Shadow Priest got slowed by the creeps, and Alice didn't have the presence of mind to immediately dispel the slow. He was kind of panicking there. And that hurts. Remember, he cut Wisp production to get this Shadow Priest to begin with, so his tech is going to suffer for it. 1-0 is taking much faster, and this creep is not working out for Alice.
Man, Alice and his Wardens, it was the same against Sock already when he tried it on Terranas, and his early game was miserable. And this is the same here on Echo against 1-0. It is gonna be such a tough task now.
Draining the Moon Juice here is also pretty cool to do. That means the Warden doesn't have much mana recovery. Not much Moon Juice forced, but a little bit. DK still holding on to the skill point patiently. In case he's under too much pressure from the Warden, he can go into Aura, and that should be able to get him away. But normally the Warden is a hero who needs to start creeping heavily to get level 3 to then play with that level advantage. And that is absolutely not working out so far. There is a reason why normally Warden doesn't work against the best undeads. Why normally only Lawlight can make her work. And that's because she's hard to pull off.
Yeah. No expansion here, but that should be quite some ghouls moving out. Causing more trouble for Alice. And stopping the Warden in her tracks. That's really, really good. Whee, that's a lot of ghouls. That's 6 ghouls.
And more ghouls are coming.
Yeah. Making sure that nothing creeps at the Merc camp. Of course, the Merc camp is not open. You can't really go for Berserker now. This is going to be a tough, tough, tough defense for Alice.
If he has 1 or 2 more archers, though, he should be able to snipe out some ghouls. There's no coil to heal them up. I really like the Telestaff. Getting out of surrounds.
Yeah. That's the biggest danger. We saw it on Twisted as well. 1-0 threatening surrounds for like 1.5, 2 minutes. But yeah, Telestaff, kind of cheap and good solution. Tech incredibly helpful for Alice as well for the bonus experience on the Warden.
I think he's playing a little too afraid. He should start creeping. There's not even dust on 1-0. Realistically, he can't kill anything. But it's a tough position as well. Yeah, game didn't start off well. You're under a bit of pressure. Hard here to keep a cool head and just creep.
Yeah, 1-0 is pretty much playing it a little like Foggy. Getting dominance very early and then steal experience away from Alice's side of the map. Which is really important because experience on this map is very limited and the Warden is so experience thirsty. It's the right call.
1-0 expecting the marketplace creep. DK is heading up there. But instead it's the Warden at the Merc. It's gonna be her level 2 here finally. And the big item. Crystal Ball. Well, helps against Burrow.
Always cool to get more vision easily. But yeah, you would love to have something else. 1-0 goes for Lich. Second this time. Oh, what a timing. The ghouls in the base raid the lores. Easy cancels.
Yeah, needs to get a lot of ghoul kills here to make this somewhat even. Shadow Strike? What? He's trying to surround the DK. And I guess he has him? Oh, it's taking some time. Oh, he gets out. Oh no, he didn't get a single ghoul?
Ouch. Yeah, maybe it's the nerves. Maybe that is the nerves. There was a kind of an easy surround there.
Yeah, I think going for surround in the first place is not the right call. You have to limit the ghoul numbers. Like, this TP is not as important.
Ghouls will be insanely strong on tier 3. I agree. Full mana. That's so interesting.
And now the Lich is coming.
Yep.
Putting on more pressure against this Warden, who's still not level 3. Wait a minute. Did the Ancient of War die?
Oh, yeah.
That's not good when you're playing Warden.
Oh, and the DK gets the middle. Alice just a little green. Alice needs a miracle.
Yeah, maybe 2.
Huh.
1-0 is playing it exactly right. He's pressuring the Warden early on. Okay, the Ancient of War is still alive. Good. Pressuring the Warden early on, but at some point you can't stop the Warden from creeping. At some point you will get level 3, but if you're tier 3 by then, that's fine. If the creeping just now continues, if the level progress now just keeps on continuing, the Undead is favored. Getting Lich higher, DK higher, and even Dark Ranger 3rd normally is a good addition.
This is now the time for Alice to get something done. Level 3, Shadow Strike 2, kill some Acolytes, trying to intercept some Fiends, maybe creep at the same time. There is still the Mercenary camp, he got the Murlocs, alright, there we go. It is a little late, of course, it is not during attack, which is ideally what you want to be, but at least you put some pressure on your opponent.
Okay, she's gonna get 3 kills here, maybe 4 if she's lucky, but 1-0 is creeping on the map. This is just as good. Not concerned with that bit of Warden pressure.
Yeah, I feel if you're Alice, it does help you a bit when for once you can be the aggressor after being defensive 5 minutes. So just get something done, knowing you got a little achievement. Mentally, that can help.
I like that 1-0 this time around is playing it more patiently. Not pushing so early, but just creeping up the map, getting a 3rd hero. The key to Warden in the late game is not killing her before she gets 6. It's getting yourself strong levels. If you have really strong levels, it doesn't matter if she has an avatar. And on this map, there's not too many creeps left, and 1-0 should be able to claim them pretty well. Ghouls have Frenzy. Very powerful now against these archers.
Oh boy, this is like 1-2 Dryads or something. Yeah, the rest can easily be nuked by Nova. No mana burn, of course, so Ice Age for these archers. They're pretty much trapped, forces a TP out. Alice still with no chance on this 3rd map.
No. This Warden, so far, not that impressive. Once again, if Lolai doesn't play her in this matchup, she just doesn't seem that good.
Foggy made her work as well.
Against Undead?
Uh-huh.
When?
A couple of times I saw this.
Not against Happy, though, and not against 1-0.
Yeah, against 1-0 we have rare encounters, and against Happy that is true.
And yeah, I mean, against lesser Undeads, she can work absolutely. But,
yeah,
you know, against the best, it's a different story. Warden finally trying to get to level 4, but there's a push coming her way. And Frenzy Ghouls, they deal with buildings pretty well. Losing Moonwells hurts. Supply blocks you and also limits your recovery.
Okay, the Warden of course has a TP, but moving all the way across the map and not getting anything done feels bad, man.
Yeah, counterattack, I don't think that is very favorable for Night Elf at all.
No.
Oh, but 1-0 takes the bait. Okay, he TP's back.
Oh, aggressively. He wants that fight. He wants these archers. He wants these bears. 1-2-0 is hungry and aiming for the lower bracket final against Sock. Big damage on that Warden. TP out.
Would like to chase down for more kills, but seems like the rest of the army is away. Oh no! 2 bears! Those are expensive.
They probably won't die. He sends them back in. That doesn't look like the right call to do.
Right now, Alice is in his base. If there's any place where he can take a fight, it's here.
Yeah, Moon Juice doesn't look too hot though. He has the shop and he has instant reinforcements. 1-0 preventing tier... not tier 3 of course, but preventing any altar revives. Not the greatest accomplishment killing this altar, but anyway. So, is this the final fight?
The ghouls should be sniped first here, but so far they're being kept alive very well. Now they're streaming forward. The ghouls with frenzy taking out these archers in a matter of seconds. Silence coming in as well, preventing the Warden from using spells here for a little while. And this Night Elf army is disappearing quite quickly.
Great control by 1-2-0. Still unbelievable that these ghouls are still alive. That is a big mistake, and they were diving through the bear line. There was nothing to prevent them from killing these archers in just seconds. Now they're starting to fall by being slowed, but without the archers here, where's the damage? They're definitely necessary for that, and nothing protects the bear, so they're out of the fight. It's only 37 supply and no hope for Alice.
Yeah, behind this, there might be an expansion coming up. Alice is looking for that, but that is not the case. 1-0 is just pushing into the main with his army. That's his strategy right now. And that might be good enough for the victory. Taking out more buildings. The shop is gone. There's barely any moon juice left. And this Warden, she's not just far away from 6, she's far away from 5.
Yeah. Instant coil against the Shadow Strike. Anticipating this. And Alice, man, not only is he at 39 supply, he is also supply stuck. And of course the Warden relies a lot on mana, and without Moonwells, can't get the mana back.
Perfect Nova into the bears. So easy to out-kite the Night Elf. No mana burn here for the Night Elf player. No Fog Lightning, no Cold Arrow. The Warden really isn't that good of a fighter by herself. Even if she is level 5. But that is not the case. She's trying to force the TP now in the DK. The last hope to force 1-0 back into this main. And that works. Even gets one more Fiend. Okay. Something going Alice's way. But, certainly not in the grandest position.
Yeah, he's alive, but he's in the emergency room and they're about to pull the plug, man. Ooh, this wasn't many losses for 1-0. He's replacing the ghouls with the abominations, and that makes them so much harder to kill.
Yeah, and again, he's close to strong level ups. Level 4 DK is really good. Level 3 Dark Ranger, it's not that amazing, but level 4 DK especially is a really big deal. Plus the Lich found some nice additional claws. Damage on him looking quite good. Naga getting some items from the middle. Warden, I mean. Invul, Heal Scroll. Trying to get ready for the next fight, and the next fight is coming.
Yeah, what's in for Alice? Absolute miracle. Maybe a cat ambush on 1-2-0. That might help him.
Double Destroyer now. We have the bears, the fiends, the statues, the triple hero. 1-2-0 has Raj pretty much peak late game, and Alice doesn't have it because he doesn't have level 6. Bears die so quickly. The kiting is easily done. And there's always coils. Well, actually, there's not too many more coils. Perhaps hero kill now is an option. Invul on the Warden, trying to get this Lich, but there's an Invul as well on that hero. A big Invul, in fact.
The right clicks are just very good. The Dryads can't really get in range. Nova on the Wisp, so there's no detonate, so there's another coil. Taking care of the little things as well.
This seems to be the end for Alice in this tournament. GG is called. And the upset does not happen here. He got a map. That was great. But 1-0 wins as expected. And Alice is the first player we say goodbye to.
Indeed. Alice not in Wonderland here, but eliminated. It's no shame dropping in this group. You got Sock, you got Lawlight, you got 120. They're all 1 or 2 tiers above you. Alice didn't embarrass himself at all, like other players certainly did on this big stage. He had some cool moments, very, very good for him that he took that map on Twisted. That was really impressive and showed some great mind for the game. I think he can be proud of himself with hard opponents. The games, especially the Warden games, didn't go his way at all. But, you know, it's experience. He's only 25. He can play a little longer, and certainly hope we see him again.
Yeah. It's a lot of experience for him in a big tournament. Maybe next season he's going to place better in the regular qualifiers. Maybe he's going to be one of the next Night Elves to rise up, because good Night Elf talent in China is kind of missing right now. We have Colorful, and then the next step down to Shishi is already a big gap, and then it seems like there's nobody really competitive. Maybe Alice, along with Elegant, can be stepping up there in the future.
Yeah, I guess 15 Sway is kind of up there when he plays Night Elf. But yeah, would be cool to see Alice more and more. Especially his wildcard qualifier was that wild. Okay, Aragon just said there's going to be no lower bracket interview. So we are not going to see 120 on stream. The break might be a little bigger. And that break, ladies and gentlemen, is time to call everyone who is in the slightest interested in Warcraft 3, because the next match is the winner bracket final of Group B, and that is Moon versus Lin.
Killer match. This could be the grand final right here, but they meet early in Group B in the upper bracket final. A match that we have been waiting for a few days, but Lin has been waiting for a while. He's been talking in the interviews how he has things prepared for Moon, how he finally wants to beat Moon.
And will he be able to pull it off this time? The stats are speaking against him. Moon seems to be unbeatable. But yeah, it is Lin. Never, ever, ever dare to underestimate Lin. Once more, the highlights of Alice versus 120. This is already the third map. This is already very close to the end. This is the death push right here. The damage output, especially once the Dark Ranger was added as well. Dryads don't stand a chance, and if you don't have the micro of Moon, they don't help you too much. Nukes were pretty good against the Bears as well. Warden couldn't unfold her game. He went to the Undead expansion exactly once. So, ladies and gentlemen, in 10 minutes, it's time for the greatest of all time, Moon versus Lin. See you in a bit.